Good morning you guys, it's Karen and I'm here to show you some makeup items I bought. I've got one skincare item that I'll show you first, but the rest is makeup. I bought this No7 Radiance 15% Vitamin C serum. It caught my eye because it's ethylated vitamin C. I managed to read the first few ingredients in this. I'm really struggling with ingredients when I'm buying products in shops because I just tend to not be bothered to get my glasses out and I've been forgetting to put my contact lens in. Anyway, the reason I'm telling you that is because when I got home, I was like, there's some fragrance in that. And I was like, it actually is the orange essential oil that's in here, or orange essence. And that is what caused my neck to break out. So I was a bit apprehensive about using it, but it is in, there's a lot less, I think, in here than in the product I had used before. Anyway, I used it and thought, oh, I don't like this at all because it feels lovely going on and it feels like it's going to be, you know, it feels really silky, and you rub it in and then almost instantly it sort of tightens up and your face is tighter feeling than it was before, and I was like, oh my goodness, I don't like that. But actually the more I've used it, the more I've enjoyed it because I do feel like my skin is feeling nice. So I'm only about up to there on this bottle, so obviously I need to use it more, and I've had no reaction at all to the scent, and I even braved putting it on my neck and it's been absolutely fine, just because it's only a slight scent, and so I could tell that it wasn't heavily fragranced. Of course I wish that there wasn't the fragrance in it, but if you would like me to do a full review of this, let me know. So that's the only skincare item. Then I bought two makeup brushes that I love, absolutely love. A lot of you guys mentioned Ecotools brushes when I was showing you brushes from Morphe and talking about bronzer brushes and powder brushes and all the rest of it, and I thought, you know what, I do love Ecotools brushes, but I look at them when I go in Boots and there hasn't been anything that I've particularly fancied. But I had a look online and got these two brushes. I actually got this one in, I think it was from eBay, either eBay or Amazon. And to my surprise, I got two of them. It was very inexpensive. And this is a powder brush. So I sent one to my sister. So this is full powder. This is perfect for powder, really, really good. I'm really enjoying this. This would probably be really good for bronzer as well. And then I got this one, which I think is a blush brush. Yeah, full blush. I can't remember where I got this one from. I don't know if I got it online or from the shops, but I've been using this for blush. I used this morning for this blush and really enjoying this as well. They're just so soft. They're really, really soft. It's a nice synthetic soft brush set. Brush brand. I got this Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. I'm really interested in tinted moisturisers, and that's something I would like to buy more of in 2021. I would like to experiment more with tinted moisturisers that give me a bit of a base and a bit of coverage of redness, but sort of look more natural. You know, that's what's appealing to me at the moment. I do still like my full coverage foundations, don't get me wrong, but just on an everyday basis I would like to wear a tinted moisturiser. I've worn this a few times. I don't love it. It doesn't seem like a tinted moisturiser to me. That's what it looks like. It just seems like a foundation. It's not what I'd expect from a tinted moisturiser. It just seems like a foundation, and it is very glowy, which I suppose, you know, that's in the title, so you should expect that, but you very much need to powder this down a lot in order for it to not be glowy. I think the Hydra part, the Hydromaniac part, was the bit that interested me. I'd like to use a hydrating tinted moisturiser. If you've got a recommendation, I'd be happy to hear it. It'd be good if I could get a drugstore one as well, but it's hard when you're trying to buy cruelty-free. Okay, on to this, because I don't even know what the brand of this is. It was difficult for me to find out. When it arrived, I was like, what is the brand of this? And it's not one I'd heard of. I don't know whether Interstellar is the brand. I will have a look at my orders and make sure I link this for you, because it is really nice. This is what I've got on my eyes today. So it's a multichrome liquid shadow. So I'll put it on my hand so you can see it, because it goes between sort of burgundy, green and gold. And it's really pretty, stays on really well, really nice to apply. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I'm really into anything that's sort of multi-chrome at the moment, or duochrome. Should we stick on eyes, and I'll show you the two eyeshadow palettes I bought. I bought these two. These are both Lorac Pro palettes. I had the Lorac Pro palette for the longest time, the original one. I had got it from Sephora when we were able to order from Sephora, and loved it, and I was down to pan on a couple of the shadows. I love everything about these palettes. I love the fact that they're really, really thin. I love that they're cardboard. I love that the eyeshadows are small. I don't ever need massive eyeshadows because, you know, I'm into eyeshadow, so I'm not always using, even though I said I'd hit pan on it, that's why, because the eyeshadows are so small. I don't want huge big eyeshadows because it's unlikely I'm going to have one palette that I'm going to use every day and use it up, you know. And I love the quality of the shadows. So this is, okay, it doesn't say on the front, just says Lorac Pro. Does it say on the back? One of them is 2 and one of them is 3. I'm sure it's one of them is version 2 and one of them is version 3. But I thought, oh, I've just dug my nail in an eyeshadow. Oh my goodness, I'm such a klutz. You'll see where I dug my nail in the red eyeshadow there, but these are the 2 palettes and what they look like. So you get a row of mattes and a row of, what would you call these? They're not shimmers. I have actually got this palette on today, but they're not, they're more like satin, shiny satin. Is satin shiny? Yeah, I suppose they're more like satin. They're just not, they're not real pop colours. I thought this would be a great sort of everyday shadow palette, and I have been using them every day since I got it. It's just a really nice, fun neutral palette, because there's sort of colours that are, I tell you in this one here, the look I've been loving is with, that is called Silver Mauve. And then I've been using this one called Blackcurrant in the corner, in the outer corner with that, and it looks really nice. And then there's one called Rosebud that I use in the crease. They're just really, really lovely, easy to blend, a pleasure to use shadows. I couldn't decide whether to buy both of them or just one of them, but there were shadows in each that I really wanted to try, so I ended up getting both. And like I said, I don't regret it at all. I really enjoy those. So I'm not telling you where I got them from because I can't actually remember, but I will link it in the description. I just, whatever it was an online website, either Cult Beauty, Look Fantastic, something like that. And it's ironic because it was one of those that I think had asked you what brands you wished they had, and I used to say Lorac all the time, or Lorac, and I saw it and was like, oh my goodness, they do that. I'm gonna have a look for sure. So it was just by accident that I found them. I bought 3 mascaras because I'm really trying still to find the perfect mascara. I still do not have the perfect mascara for me. And so the first one I got is called Mad Lash, and it is by the Balm. This one I thought would be, looks to me like it's a dupe of the Benefit Roller Lash. I used to use the Benefit Roller Lash, and when I say a dupe, it's not cheaper, but it will be, this one's cruelty free, I believe. I'm now doubting myself after what happened with the Peter Thomas Roth, but I believe they are cruelty free. They are definitely cruelty free. This is what happens with me. I won't remember unless I buy like 10 things from the Balm, and then every time I see them I'll think, did I check that? I feel like I check most of the time, but clearly I don't, because the Peter Thomas Roth thing I thought was cruelty free and isn't. But by the way, I did try that once and it was okay, but I need to use it a bit more. What I do if I get a whole bunch of new mascaras like this is I try them all once, see what I think, see if I can immediately go, no, I don't like that, I'm not even going to use it anymore. That wasn't the case with this, so I need to use it a bit more. Same with this next one. This is the Mavala Mascara that's creamy, protein enriched. It's in this tube here. This is a nice synthetic brush. The only thing I would say about this is it's overloaded with product. I don't remember that being a problem when I put it on, but again, I've only used it once, but there is a lot of product on here. I suspect that that'll end up being too clumpy for me. Then finally, I got this one from Wet n Wild called Mega Length, and I've been using this the last 3 days. I do really like this, but it's a plastic brush. That's the only thing I don't like. If this was synthetic, I would love it. I would absolutely love it. And there's a question mark over Wet n Wild, isn't there? It's so complicated. But with Wet n Wild, I seem to remember something about them no longer being cruelty free, but they claim they are cruelty free. Even though they sell in China, there is a loophole that means the products sold in China don't have to be tested on animals. I need to find time to research that. And no offense to anyone commenting, but somebody commenting telling me that is cruelty free, that is not cruelty free, that is your opinion, or you may well have researched it well yourself, but I don't know that. I need to research it myself, if that makes sense. I think it's something that's important that I know from the source exactly what the story is. But from looking at Wet n Wild, they are saying they are cruelty free. Their products are not tested on animals, but I need to look into that a little bit more. Okay, one more eye product, and then I've got a couple of lip products which I'm really excited about actually. But this eye product, I saw this and was like, ooh, let me try that, because I've been trying to do soap brows. I don't think I've managed, but it's this here. This is called Brow Freeze and it's by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it is just a completely translucent brow wax. I'm going to get you close up and show you my brows, because I also bought this. No, I didn't buy this. I had this. This is the NYX Fill and Fluff. This is a brow pencil that you may remember I used to talk about loving because I loved the brush on the end, and I thought, oh, this brush will be perfect. The colour of the pencil on this is too dark for me. So I've been using this brush in this, and it is really good at getting that sort of soap brow effect, which I think is, don't laugh if I got it wrong, because like I said, I'm a bit of a klutz with makeup and I'm not a professional in any stretch of the imagination, but I've been using this and sort of brushing the bits of hair that I've got left up. Now, is that a little bit soapy? Is that a little bit soap brow-like? I think it is, and this does a really good job of holding it in place. So I really like this, but it is, you don't need very much of this at all. This is going to last forevermore. The only thing that will make me want to not keep it is if it gets all gungy, but I'm just thinking I could probably just wipe off a layer and continue using it. It's quite sticky, it's quite thick, it is going to hold your brows in place. You know, it's not a lightweight type brow gel. You can use a spoolie with it. I have used a spoolie with it. I just prefer to use this little brush here from the NYX Fill and Fluff. Okay, onto the lipsticks. So I want to show you, and I'll tell you a funny story about these as well. I have been looking for a lipstick to replace something that I discovered. I've got a few MAC lipsticks that I couldn't give away because I just loved them so much, and they kind of had sentimental value. Particularly the first one I ever wore, the first red lipstick I ever wore was Ruby Woo, and I wore it to a particular event that was very important to me, and you know, so I had kept it. And the other one I'd kept was called Mac Mehr, M-E-H-R. And I actually put that colour on and thought, you know what, that's the kind of colour that I would like to wear more of this year. So let me see if I can find something that is in the cruelty-free range. And actually I'd prefer something in a liquid lipstick. So it's difficult to find something nowadays because obviously we can't use testers. But I ordered these two from Kat Von D. One is Mother and one is Lovecraft. I got these from Boots because they're just little miniature sizes, so you're not buying the full size. And I like that because then you can try out and see if you like it. I actually thought it would be the one in Mother that would be more similar to Mare, but it wasn't. It's actually the one in Lovecraft, which is this one. And so I am really, really enjoying it. But I bought these two and I thought, I don't have any lip liners to match these. How am I going to find a lip liner to match these? And I thought, because I can't test things in the shop, and even when I do, I got it wrong. You know, I never seem to be able to find the right blooming lip liner to match the right lipstick. And I ended up a few weeks ago, I sat down and like matched them all up under really bright light and wrote in my book which lipsticks go with which lip liners. But I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll put testers like I have now onto my hand, and I'll go into Boots. Well, I was going into Boots to pick up my prescription, and I thought I can pick up the lip liners like this and I can put them like that. So that's what I did, and you can see there, I was like, oh yeah, that looks like that's going to be a good match for that one, and this one looks like it's going to be a good match for that one. And I was sort of looking on my phone and looking up seeing if I could get any images, and eventually I was like, no, I think these two are the ones I want. Anyway, I was standing there and this female security guard came towards me and says, excuse me. And I was like, yeah. And she said, you're not allowed to test the items. And I was like, I'm not testing the items. I said, I put this on at home. And she was like, sort of looked at me, and I was like, I promise you. I said, these have come from home. I said, there's nothing here that I could use. I said, and these are new. I said, it's not, you know, I'm not going to come and open them. And she said, well, people do. And I said, well, you can check these. I said, you can see they're sealed, because they were both sealed. And she was like, oh, I'm really sorry. And then she apologized because she realized there was nothing there that I could have put this on my hand, you know, what she saw on my hand. She said, I just saw stuff on your hand and assumed that you were testing stuff. And I was like, no. I said, I would never I wouldn't be keen on using testers anyway. And I said, but I certainly wouldn't open new things and use them as testers. But I was just mortified. I was like, oh my God, I felt like covering up my hand after that because I was going into Superdrug. Superdrug is right next door. And I was like, I'm going to go and have a look in there. And I was like, well, maybe not. I'm going to put my gloves on because I don't want people thinking I'm testing stuff. I thought I'd had this brilliant idea, you know. Anyway, so that was that. These are perfect. They are absolute perfect match. I haven't worn this lipstick in Mother yet. Do you know what? It doesn't look so perfect when you put it on there, but it is. It is on the lips. I suppose the Mother one is the least compatible, but so that is Kat Von D Lovecraft, and this is this one, which is NYX pencil. Which one type of pencil? I think it's a slide on glide on in Alluring, and then this is a number 7 one in, oh, that's imaginative, pink. Which I suppose it is pink, isn't it? That one's more raspberry. I think that number 7 do one called raspberry. I'm gonna have to check because I think that might be a better match, but I haven't worn this one yet, like I said, but I have worn this Lovecraft one, and it's really nice. It's not exactly the same as the mare colour. I will still, you know, if ever it comes a point where I can test things on my hand again, I will be looking for something that is identical, or if anybody knows anything, let me know. But they're really nice, and I really like the Lovecraft colour. It's just a bit brighter, you know, because I've got eye colour on today that's not too neutral. I didn't bother putting on the coloured one. That's everything that I bought. I hope that you enjoyed that. A few little goodies there. I'm sorry if I add to your list. A lot of times you guys are like, thanks very much. Now I've got loads of things I want to buy, so I apologise. But hopefully it might work the other way and remove some things from your list that you thought you wanted but didn't. I'll tell you what I've got on. I have got on my Hourglass stick foundation in Shell. On my eyes, you know what I've got? I've got that Interstellar and then the Lorac Pro palette. On my cheeks is Illamasqua blush in Nymph. I used the Midnight Snack colour in the Colourpop liquid lipstick, but on top of it I put the Morphe and MADISON Beer lipstick lip gloss in Mercury on top. So that's everything that's on my face. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.